Good. Okay, so starting in child's pose. Bring the big toes to touch and take the knees wide. I'll be back with you in a sec. Sorry. So making any adjustments that you need to be comfortable. Let your forehead rest either on your mat or a block or a pillow. And then feel the contact between yourself and the floor. The shins, the forehead, your arms, the forearms resting down and the shoulders relax. And then let that connection become heavy. You can kind of nestle your bum back towards your heels. And we take a deep inhale through the nose. And then sigh out through the mouth. Just do that 2 more times at your own pace, inhaling through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. Bringing your awareness inwards. Just take a moment to check in with the physical body. Notice how you're feeling, any sensations that are coming up. Notice your mood, your energy. And be aware of the thoughts that are arising in the mind. And you're just acknowledging what's going on. No reaction, no need to try and change anything. And there's an opportunity now to set an intention for your practice. That can be for this class, it might be for the rest of your week or your year. It can be a word or a short statement like a mantra. And think of it as a quality that you might like to manifest. If the mind feels blank or blocked, just consider why you've chosen to take the class this evening. We'll take an inhale together. And send out your intentions with your next exhale. Start now to create a smooth, even breath to use through the practice, and this will guide you through. So anytime you feel out of breath, you're very welcome to rest. You can modify as much as you need to, use your props if you have any. And equally feel free to use variations that you like to practice. If you have Ujjayi breath in your practice, you're always welcome to use that at any point. That's kind of like a slightly constricted whispering breath, a bit like Darth Vader breathing, or maybe a baby sleeping is a bit nicer. You're working towards the breath being an even count of maybe 3, 4, or 5 on your inhale, and the same count on your exhale. Just take some time to develop this breath, smoothing it out. Just gently walk your hands over to the right and off of your mat. So fingers creeping away from you. Let your head rest down and the sit bones still pressing back towards your heels. And take a couple of breaths here, side stretch. And bring the hands through center and over to your left. Any point the knees or the hips feel comfortable in this position, you can always lift your bum up a little bit higher. And take a few deep breaths here. And bring the hands back to center. And thread the needle, bring your right arm through so you rest on your right shoulder, the right side of the head. And then bring your left hand in front of your face so the elbow's up and you're pushing into the left hand to draw the left shoulder open. And breathe here. Release the left hand forwards, right hand forwards, switch sides, left arm comes through. Right hand in front of your face and lever the right shoulder open. Extend the right arm, left arm, and come up to all fours. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. On your inhale, moving into cow pose, lift the gaze and lengthen the spine. Really draw your heart through. Exhale, round the back for cat pose. 2 times with the breath. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale to round. One more time, inhale into cow. Exhale, round the back, draw the belly in. And come to a neutral spine. Step your right hand into the center of the mat, bring your right foot forward for a low lunge. Keep your hands inside that right leg, sink the hips down and the chest lifts. And you can grab your blocks at this point if you want to make your arms longer. And just allowing the hip flexor to release. One more breath here. We pull back to half split, so shift the hips directly over the back knee and flex the front foot. Inhale, lengthens the spine. Exhale, you fold forwards. So the breastbone draws forwards rather than the head sinking down. And the sit bones tip out behind you. Hamstring stretch. And then there's always the option to dial your toes out to the right. You can hold it there or gently pulse in and out. If that's making you pull a funny face, don't do it. And now come back into your lunge, sinking the hips down. Left hand under the left shoulder on your mat or block, reach the right hand up, twisting. Still the hips sink down, but the chest opens up. If you want to add on, you can bend that left heel, or bend the knee rather, and the heel comes in towards your butt. Either hold it here Maybe you bring your right hand to the left foot. If that's not coming, if it's not available for you today, don't do it. You can stay here or here. And again, that block under the left hand makes your arm longer and that grab more accessible. Just one more breath. And release both hands onto the mat. Then step back into a plank. So you might be in a high plank or modify with the knees down. Make sure the hips are not sagging. Take another inhale here. Use your exhale to bend the elbows and lower down with some control. Press the tops of the feet down. 3 tiny cobras lifting your hands and your chest. Inhale to lift up, not pressing into the hands. Exhale, lower down. 2 more. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up. Legs are really strong. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, tuck the toes. Keep the toes tucked under. Push back, seat to heels, and hold it here. Take a couple of breaths. And then come back to all fours. Left hand into the center, step the left foot through. Low lunge, second side. Hold it and breathe. And then we pull back to half splits, working the front leg towards straight, flexing the foot. Inhale to lengthen the spine. And exhale, you fold in until you feel the stretch through the back of the left leg. Option again to turn the toes out to the left, holding or pulsing. Come back into your lunge. Right hand under the right shoulder, twisting to your left. Hold it here or bend the right knee. Hold it here or left hand to right foot. And you roll that left shoulder open. So rather than often people will try and grab around like that, reach around and that will make it easier to grab the foot. One more breath here. Release both hands down, step back to your plank, high plank or modified plank. Take an inhale. Exhale, bend the elbows, come down onto your belly. Arms by your sides, the palms press down, thumbs turn out, forehead down. And the legs are long, toes pointing. Use your inhale to lift the chest. Keep looking down so the neck is neutral. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Option to lift your hands up. Maybe take an interlace behind the back. Or maybe you reach your hands forward, a little bit more challenging. And then you can lift your toes. And we're here for 3 more breaths. Just if you can lengthen from your crown to your toes. Lift up a little bit higher. 1 more breath. And then release. Hands under the shoulders. Inhale, tuck the toes. Push back, seat to heels. And come up to downward facing dog. Lift the sit bones up and back. And you can take your time to pedal out the feet. Wiggle the hips, shake the head. But notice how this feels. And come to stillness. Use an inhale to lift your right leg up, 3-legged dog, kicking out through that right heel. Exhale, knee towards the nose and step the right foot through. Take an inhale here, back knee is lifted. Exhale, shifts the hips back for a pyramid variation. Lengthen the spine and then fold over that front leg. You can bend the knee as much as you need to. Take a couple of breaths. Then come back into your lunge. Bend the front knee. Left hand down, right hand high, twisting. Open up through that right shoulder. One more breath. Release the top hand down. Step back to your three-legged dog, right leg high. Now you can choose, come forwards into a plank with the right leg lifted, or a regular plank, or a modified plank. Take another inhale to make everything strong. And the exhale, you lower down onto your belly. Inhaling for cobra, press down, come up a little bit higher, as high as feels good in your back. Exhale, take it back to down dog through the knees or plank, down dog. Couple of breaths, sigh out through the mouth if you need to. Second side, inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, steps the left foot through. Inhale in your lunge. Exhale, shifts the hips back, straighten the front leg and fold in. Again, your hands can be on your mat or your blocks. Come back into your lunge. Right hand down, twisting to your left. Release the left hand down. Get back to a three-legged dog, left leg high. Inhale, come forwards into plank. Your variation of the plank that you're working with. Take another inhale here. Exhale, you lower down. Inhaling for cobra or maybe up dog. In up dog, you press down, the knees and the thighs lift. You draw the pubic bone forwards. Exhale, shift back to down dog through the knees or plank. And take 3 breaths. Again, inhale, lifts your right leg up. Exhale, steps the right foot through. Drop the back knee down. Inhale, you reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Use an inhale to lengthen. Exhale, you twist to your right and then hook the left elbow over the right knee. Press the palms, open the chest. And then check in with your neck and your shoulders. You can turn to look in whichever direction is most comfortable for you. And there's the option to tuck the back toes and lift the back knee up. One more full round of breath here. On an exhale, look down, bring your hands down, and then drop the back heel down, warrior 2 feet. Find your feet, make sure you can feel that back foot on the mat, and then you open up to warrior 2. Deepen the lunge into the front knee, and press into the back foot. Scan through the body, see if there's something that you can release. Use your next exhale to place the hands down. Get back to a 3-legged dog with the right leg high. Bend the knee and open the hip so the knee points up to the ceiling. You're pushing into both hands and the shoulders are square. Lift that right knee a little bit higher. Inhale to extend, three-legged dog. Exhale, right foot down. Switching sides. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, steps the left foot through. And you drop the back knee down. Inhale, lift up, Anjali-asana. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, create some space. And then you twist to your left and hook that elbow. I draw that left knee across, then hook in. Draw the belly off of the front thigh. Either back knee down or back knee lifts. One more breath. Look down, bring your hands down, and you drop the back heel down. Opening up into warrior two. Then make your micro adjustments and settle in. Come back to your breath. Smooth, even rhythm to your breath. Use your exhale to place the hands down. Get back to a three-legged dog, left leg high. Bend the knee and open your hip. You keep looking back to your back foot. Inhale, re-extend the left leg. And release the foot down. On your next exhale, look forwards. And walk or hop to the top of the mat. And take a halfway lift. Hands on the shins, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold in. Take it into ragdoll. Bring the feet at least hip width. Head hangs heavy. You can take any arm variation that you fancy this evening. And really plug your feet in. Lift your sit bones up a little bit higher. And then a gentle sway from side to side. Let yourself be very floppy. And then backwards and forwards. Shake out the head, yes and no. Now release your arms down. On an inhale, reverse swan dive, rise all the way up, palms touch at the top. Exhale to cactus the arms, open your elbows, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale, reach up and interlace the fingers at the top, flip the palms, press up, and then hinge over to your right. The palms pushing over to the right, and the hips draw over to the left. But keep feeling your feet on the mat and relax the shoulders. Couple of breaths here. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, flow to your left. Notice how that feels. Inhale, you rise up and release the fingers. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, arms by your sides, Tadasana. And close your eyes. Smooth out the breath. Find that smooth, even rhythm. And remember your intention. And blink the eyes open. Big toes come to touch. There's a little gap between your heels. On your inhale, reach up, hands are shoulder width, and exhale to sit down into chair pose. A deep bend in the knees, sink the hips low, bring the hands to the heart. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twisting to your right, prayer twist to the right. If this isn't working for you, just take an open twist with the left hand forward and the right hand back. Use your inhale to create a little bit of space, some lift, and the exhale to twist. Inhale, you come back to center, hands to heart. Exhale, twisting to your left. And keep breathing. On your next inhale, come back to center, reach the hands up. Exhale and forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, step back to down dog. You can stay or you can move through your vinyasa. That's your choice. High plank on an inhale. Exhale, lowering onto your belly, your chaturanga. Inhaling for a back bend. And the exhale brings you back to down dog. Moving on, inhale, reach your right leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, draws the knee towards the nose and you step through. Take an inhale. Use your exhale to drop the back heel down. Inhale, opening into warrior two. Flip the front palm and reverse. Don't lose the legs. Flow through to side angle pose, either forearm to thigh or right hand inside the right foot. Left hand up or over your left ear. Reach the left hand high. And then straighten the front leg. Triangle pose. Shorten the stance if you need to. Use an inhale to lengthen. Exhale, draws your left shoulder open. And again, check in with your neck, your shoulders. One more breath here. And the exhale takes the gaze down, you release your hands down. Kick back to your three-legged dog, right leg high. Now you can rest in down dog with both feet on the mat, or move through your choice of vinyasa. Inhaling to a plank, your right leg might be lifted. Exhale, you lower down. Inhaling for your back bend. Exhale, meeting in down dog. You can always miss the vinyasas out. You can modify them. You can rest in child's pose. You can jazz them up if you want to. Then we move on to the second side. Use your inhale to lift your left leg up. Exhale, steps the left foot through. Take an inhale here. Use the whole of that exhale just to place the right heel down. Then inhale, you rise up, warrior two. Gazing towards your left hand. Flip the front palm and reverse. So you can look up to the side or down towards your back foot. And flow through to side angle, your variation of side angle. And then everybody reach the right hand up. We straighten the front leg, left hand down. Shimmy that back foot in if you need to. Inhale, you lengthen. Exhale, you open up. 2 breaths. Look down, hands come down, hip back to your three-legged dog, left leg high. And then you choose, you can flow through your own vinyasa. You can take a break in down dog or child's pose. One breath, one movement. Good. So we meet in down dog and take 3 full breaths. Follow each inhale and each exhale. On your next exhale, look forwards. Now you can step or you can hop. So my little cheat, if you want to hop forward, is to step your feet forwards a little bit. Look forwards, really rock the weight forwards, and then a light hop to the top. Halfway lift on your inhale. Exhale and fold in. Big toes to touch, sink the hips down. Chair pose. Inhale, stand tall, reach up and release your arms by your sides. Let everything stabilize. We're going to flow through again and add on half moon at the end. So if you have a block or a water bottle that you want to use, have it at the top of the mat so you're not grabbing for it at the back of your mat. And we'll go through. Big toes to touch. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sit down. Bring the hands to the heart. Take an inhale. Exhale, twist to your right. Inhale, back to center, hands to heart. Exhale, twist to your left. Inhale, reach your hands high, sit deep. Exhale, fold forward, sigh out through the mouth. Halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, hands down, we step straight to down dog. Inhale, lifts your right leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, steps the right foot through, and we take a breath. Inhale. Exhale, drop the back heel down. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, side angle. Reach your left hand up. Straighten the right leg, triangle pose. Now place the left hand on the left hip and look down. Weight into your right foot, step the back foot in and find your block. So the block is under my right shoulder, not by my right foot. Flex your left foot. Lift the left leg up. Use your left hand to peel the left hip open so the hips are turning towards the side wall. If you feel steady here, extend the left hand up. Good. Maybe a little micro bend in that standing knee. Option to go for a bind. So you bend your top leg, your left leg, and try and reach your left foot or ankle with your hand. Yeah. Yeah. And then open up. And keep breathing. Unclench the jaw. If you wobble and fall out, have another go. The binders release back to half moon. Graceful, like ballerinas, we step back into warrior two and pause. Find your breath. Exhale to windmill the hands down. Hip back to your three-legged dog, right leg high. Option to flow through your vinyasa, or you rest. We meet in down dog. And move on to the second side. Use your inhale to lift the left leg up. Exhale, steps the left foot through. Take an inhale here. Exhale, back heel down. Inhale, open hips and arms. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, side angle. Right hand high. Straighten the front leg, triangle. Right hand to right hip, look down, moving into half moon. Take the weight into your left foot. Toes are nice and long. Left hand onto your prop. And the gaze is down. Drishti is fixed on one spot. Then you can play with lifting this right leg up. Open the right hip. Reach the right hand up. Make yourself a little bit bigger. Option to go for the bind. Good, no rush. Couple more breaths wherever you are. And if you have a wall or a chair to lean on, go for it. If you fall over, that's how you learn. If you have the bind, release back to half moon. Graceful step back into warrior two. Good. Take a breath or two. Use your exhale to bring your hands down. Get back to a three-legged dog. Take your rest or keep flowing through. One breath, one movement, no rush, no race. And we've got 3 breaths here, so feel free to come down to child's pose. So we meet in down dog if you're ready. Use your exhale to look forwards, a step or a hop to the top. Take a halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, fold in. Big toes touch, sink your hips down. Chair pose. Inhale, press into your feet, reach up. Exhale, arms by your sides, Tadasana. Stabilize the breath. We'll bring the hands to the heart. Come up onto your tiptoes. And we're going to come down into a toe stand. So keep the heels up, but bend your knees as you lower your butt down. If this is uncomfortable for your knees, you can just come to sit on your bum with your feet flat, knees bent. We're going to add in a twist. So bring your right hand down. Extend the left hand up. If you have a block, again, quite useful here. Left arm reaches up, so you're lengthening through the left side. And we're going to hook that left elbow over the right thigh. And you can stay here. We'll bring the hands to prayer. If you have side crow in your practice or you want to give it a go, we'll give it a go. So you either stay in this twist. If this is getting too much for you, just come forward, take the knees wide, and place your hands down, garland pose. For side crow, if you want to give it a go, bring your hands down, fingers spread wide. And then you bend your elbows and see if you can place your right thigh on the backs of your arms and look to your left. And then you shift the weight forwards, maybe the feet lift up. And then when you're done, we'll all meet in garland. So coming back to center, taking the knees wide, shifting the hips back and extending the arms forwards, chin to chest. Two more breaths. And then walk the hands in, come back into your toe stand, hands to heart. Adding in the twist, left hand down, right hand up. Twisting, hook the right elbow over your left thigh. You can stay here or bring the palms to touch, opening the left shoulder up, squeezing the legs together. Stay here or you move into your side crow. Placing the hands down, like you would do in Chaturanga, the fingers are spread really wide. If you've had enough in your side twist, then just come back to garland. And then let the thigh come onto the backs of your arms. Might be easier in person, but you can give it a whirl. And then when you're ready, we will all meet in garland pose. Taking the knees wide, hips sinking back, so it's kind of a counterbalance, chin to chest. If you need to roll out the wrists, go ahead. And then we'll meet in a standing forward fold, hands down, hips high, shake out the head. And step back to downward facing dog. Inhale to lift the right leg up. Exhale, steps the right foot through. Back heel comes down, open into warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Bring your hands onto your hips and turn to the left side of your mat. Heels in, toes out. Hands to heart, sink your hips down for goddess. The legs are strong. They will not give in. A smile can make it feel better. Lift the pelvic floor. Engage through the core. Everything is working. Smiling and breathing, and we're here for 3 more breaths. Because as well as the flexibility, we need to strengthen. Might be a good opportunity to think about your intention. Use your next inhale to move into star pose. Straighten the legs, reach your hands up, look up. And then hands to heart. Turn the toes forward, the feet are parallel. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, hinging forwards, leading with your heart, and stick your bum out as you come down. Bring your hands down, head hangs down. Either hands on your mat or your blocks or somewhere on your legs. And you can either be still or if you need some movement, go for it. Couple more breaths. Use your next inhale to take a halfway lift. Walk the hands round to the top of the mat and step back, going through your vinyasa, but you take a pause in down dog. Good. Now we meet in down dog and move on to the second side. Use your inhale to lift your left leg up. Exhale, steps the left foot through. Drop the back heel down, warrior two. Hands to hips, straighten the front leg. Heels in, toes out. Hands to heart. Smiling. Sit a little bit lower. And then we're going to see if we can come onto the tiptoes of the right foot. And keep breathing, smiling, not grinding the teeth, shoulders over your hips. Drop the right heel down, pick up the left heel. Breathing and trembling. Drop the left heel down. And we're going to see if we can pick up both of the heels. Grinning, really trembling. That means that something's happening. Good. And then release the heels down. Use your inhale to open into star pose. Exhale, hands to heart. Interlace the fingers behind your back. Turn the toes forwards. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, fold in, Prasarita. If the shoulders are tight, just release your hands down. And squeeze the shoulder blades together, open the chest. Lift your elbows up. Maybe you can lift your knuckles up. Depending how open the shoulders are, the hands come overhead. And give your head a shake out. And release the fingers through the lower back. Hands come under your shoulders. Inhale for your halfway lift. Walk the hands round to the top of the mat and step back into your plank or straight to down dog, vinyasa or rest. And we'll all eventually meet in child's pose. And keep your awareness inwards. Really notice what's going on, what you're feeling. Become aware of all the processes that are going on, the tingling, the buzzing, pulsing. Feel your breath. And with the focus on your breath, you come back to the rhythm, the same rhythm that you created at the beginning of the class. Start to walk your hands in and come up to sit. Bump the hips to one side and extend the legs forwards. You flex the feet. If you feel like you're rounding into the lower back, bend the knees. Inhale to lift the chest. And you exhale, the belly draws in and just start to tilt forwards. Be mindful of keeping the spine long rather than rounding. The breastbone towards your toes. gazing down towards your shins, and you just stop when you get to the point of resistance, when you feel the sensation, and breathe into it. And keep your awareness on the breath, on the sensation. Notice what happens. And 2 more breaths here. If you feel any release, then go with it. Maybe lower down a bit more. On your inhale, lift out with length. Now we're going to take either reverse tabletop or reverse plank. So option 1, bend the knees, plant the feet, bring your hands about a foot behind you, either fingers out or towards you. And you press down to lift the hips up. That's option 1. Plank, you squeeze the legs together, point your toes, hands under your shoulders, lift up. Now you're going to do that for 5 breaths, so choose wisely. Pushing into your hands, lifting the hips up. And you can either gaze towards the ceiling or down towards your knees. If it's very comfortable for your neck, then let the head go, but I never find that very good. Can you lift your hips a little bit higher? 2 more breaths, a little bit higher. And then release. Bring your knees in. Come onto your tiptoes. Navasana. There are many options here. You can be here, hands on your knees. You might be here, arms extended or holding on. Or you might be here. But you're going to do it for 5 breaths, so choose wisely. Push down to lift up. 4 more breaths. Relax the shoulders. 3 more breaths. Relax the jaw. 2 more breaths. And then release. Soles of the feet together, knees open wide. Baddha Konasana. Lift up through the crown. It will wiggle from side to side. And just pause, close your eyes. What are you feeling? Where do you feel it? And certainly relax the shoulders and the jaw. And maybe you can release some tension through the groin and the inner thighs. And you can hold it here or, again, tilting forwards. Feels like the breastbone is moving forwards and your sit bone's tilting out behind you. You look down towards your big toes. That helps to keep the neck neutral. And breathe into those tight areas. Use your next inhale to lift out. Bring the knees together. 2nd round of Navasana. So either big toes down, shins parallel, everything extending. 5 breaths. Three more breaths. Let something release. One more breath, just hold it there. I'm going to do that. Now we're going to make our way down onto our back. So you might be more like a reverse crunch and lowering down. Or from Navasana, we go through Ardha Navasana halfway down. You might hold it here. If you're hardcore, then you start pulsing up and down a little bit. And then eventually we'll lower all the way down onto our backs. We reach the arms overhead, take an inhale through the nose and a sigh out through the mouth. Allow the core to release, heartbeat to settle. Bring your knees in and give them a squeeze. Take some frog circles, so dialing the knees in opposite directions, just 2 or 3 times each way. And we'll take a twist. So one option here is to wrap your right leg over your left, and then roll your knees over to the left. If that's not good for you, just keep the thighs together and the knees roll over to the left. Right arm extending out. We'll scan through the body, make sure there's no tension holding. Come back to center, unravel the legs if they were wrapped. Draw your knees in, give them a squeeze. And we'll switch sides, so wrapping the left leg over if you did that on the first side, rolling the knees to the right. Left arm extends out. If the shoulder and the arm kind of feeling a bit awkward, you can just windmill the arm around a little bit so it can rest down. Scanning through, let the body soften. Couple more breaths. And then come back to center, unwrap the legs, squeeze the legs in. Give yourself a little hug, maybe forehead up to meet the knees. And then release into Shavasana, legs extend long. Arms by your sides. Arrange yourself here so that you are comfortable. If it's better for you to have your knees bent and the feet flat, go ahead. Let the whole body be heavy. And bring your awareness to the back of the body. And just feel all of the points of contact, the back of the head, shoulders, the upper back, middle back. Release the lower back, the sacrum, buttocks, pelvis, and the backs of the legs all the way down to your heels, heavy, and the backs of the arms all the way down to the backs of the hands. Whole body is heavy, supported, no effort required. But the breath is soft. It will take a few minutes to be still and to be quiet, and I will let you know when it is time to come out of the practice. The mind is already starting to get distracted, then choose your focus point, your breath, your intention, maybe a ticking clock that you can hear. Just one anchor point that you can keep coming back to every time you're aware of the distractions. Please feel free to stay in Shavasana for as long as you wish. If you're ready to come out of the practice, eyes stay closed, but deepening the breath. And let the breath be what starts to move the body. When you're ready, the toes, the fingers, wrists and ankles start to move. And the head can roll side to side. Any other movements that feel natural for you. And when you're ready, bring your knees in, roll onto one side, make your way up to sit. Bring the hands into prayer in front of the heart. We find this still space. Allows you to bring your awareness inwards and acknowledge your practice, to feel the benefits of the practice, anything that it's brought to you today. And bring the thumbs to the third eye. Remember your intention. Take that with you, use it. And bow the head to the heart to seal the practice. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. Lovely to have you all this evening.